Hello again. So this is the second part of our walk today. I'm done with the tour and now I'm headed to the Colosseum, which is in that direction right there. Now it's sunny, now it's hot, and I am on the street called Via delle Botteghe Oscure, or the street of dark shops, you would call it. Alright? And this here is a building that fascinates me always. And let me show it to you again, because you can see, you know, that I'm crazy about the architecture, all right, of the ancient and Renaissance, medieval, Renaissance, Baroque, modern Rome. And here, this is something beautiful, all right. So we have this ancient columns right there, okay. So fluted, beautiful fluted columns. Who knows how old? You know, 1,000 years old at least, if not more. Then there's all this rubble, okay, that Romans would crash and use to fill the potholes in the Middle Ages or build their homes. These are pieces of a huge portico and drums of the columns, so you can see how the columns were actually constructed. Okay, so you see that not all columns are monoliths or made of one piece of marble, but some of them were actually made up of numerous drums. Then you can see that this building had been demolished partially, okay, and then reinforced using these walls, using this buttresses, right? And then there is a staircase right there, hidden, so you can see that you can enter and exit the building on that side. This is something magnificent, all right, absolutely beautiful, absolutely stunning. And we are just a few steps away from Larva di Toro Argentino, which is right there. And this is the tram that goes rounds between Piazza Venezia and Trastevere. Tram number 8. And I'm headed to the Colosseum. And so we have some more things to see as we get closer to Piazza Venezia, of course. And from Piazza Venezia to Colosseum, we'll be walking between the ancient forums. We'll be walking the street called Via dei Fori Imperiali. Fori Imperiali means imperial forums, okay? The forums are old, but the street is pretty modern, okay, by Roman standards, brand new. So I'll come back to you guys when we get to Piazza Venezia. Ta-da! We are in Piazza Venezia. We're looking at Vittoriano. Now, Vittoriano, by the way, is the same thing as Altare della Patria. Okay, so if you hear someone say Altare della Patria in Piazza Venezia, you know that this here is it. All right, this is it, Vittoriano. Victor Emmanuel II, right there, riding his horse, the first king of unified Italy. It's a huge monument, right? One of the biggest in Italy, if not the biggest, and it has a beautiful belvedere, all right there, beautiful platform on the roof, and the view, of course, the view of the city from there is absolutely breathtaking. On the right side, we have Palazzo Venezia, okay? This is our meeting point right there for the Haunted Colosseum tour, okay? And it says on your voucher it will say we meet in front of an old brown building, and this is it right there. On the left side we have former headquarters of insurance, Assicurazioni Generali from Venice, and you can see the symbol of Saint Mark right there, the symbol of Venice. And straight on, Via del Corso, that leads all the way to Flaminian Gate, or to the square called Piazza del Popolo, alright? On this side we have Palazzo Bonaparte, right there, that's where Napoleon's mom and sister lived. According to the legend, this green box right there is where Napoleon's mom used to sit and watch people, and used to sit and watch horse races, because it's called Corso, okay? It used to be called Via Late, the ancient name, but the more recent name, let's say modern name, Via del Corso, means the street of the races, right? Horse races, of course. This here, Palazzo Venezia, is the former headquarters of the fascist party, so that's the famous balcony from which Mussolini declared war and talked to his people. Piazza Venezia used to be a huge parking lot. Now it's just a green lawn, of course, with the flowers, the colors of Italian flag. And down there we have Podium. It's a pedestrian street. Only taxis and buses are allowed, and it's very, very convenient because there is a bus that can bring you from and to Coliseum, so you don't have to walk this couple of 100 meters. And the Coliseum is right there in the back, so we're headed right there. Over here we can see Trajan's column, okay, 2,000 years old, almost 2,000 years old, and I'm gonna show it to you now up close. So yeah, Piazza Venezia. It's really hot, okay, so if I pass out with a camera in my hand, well, it's gonna be fun, all right, it's gonna be something unusual. But let me cross the street now and I'll take you to the forums. And there's a purple Lamborghini behind this bus. Let me see if I can get a right there. I think it's Lamborghini. Well, the car enthusiasts, you let me know in the comments. By the way, guys, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share. This would help us a lot. And yeah, let's get back to the archaeology. Look at this. Here we have plenty of archaeological sites everywhere, all over the place. And of course, Trajan's column in the perfect shape, or almost, let's say. The colors have faded away, but the structure still stands. This is made up of drums, hollow drums. Okay, it's hollow on the inside, and there's a staircase actually that takes you all the way to the top. And in Middle Ages, this was one of the most important touristic attractions, okay, in Rome. Tourists actually paid money to climb to the top just to get the view of Rome, okay, because of course in Middle Ages Colosseum was not that popular. In Middle Ages, Colosseum was a hospital slash brothel slash church, cemetery was there in the Colosseum as well. So attractions, touristic attractions were way different in Middle Ages. Today, of course, the main attraction here is the Colosseum. Now, our famous pines. Everyone loves Roman pines. And let me get closer, let me show you up close and personal. And you find a little bit of shade and it changes your life because it's so much cooler in the shade. Now, let me show you the pines. These are gorgeous. Of course, you guys all love them. You always want to touch them. I want to see how tall they are, how beautiful they are. Yep. So Pini Marittimi, people call them. They have different names. We call them umbrella pines. All right. Most of the visitors, most of the tourists call them umbrella pines because, of course, they look like huge umbrellas, and you can see there are more of them coming up. So, yeah, let's take a walk. Let's take a walk. Now, little fun fact for you guys. You see this statue? Alright? Looks ancient, looks like a statue of an ancient guy, right? And then you look at the inscription and you see, of course, SPQR, Senatus Populus Quae Romanus, and then you see Imperatore Cesare Nerva Traiano, okay? Optimo Principe. The statue of the Emperor Nerva Traiano, okay? But it also says Cesare, Kaiseri, right? Caesar right there. So many people think that it's a statue of Caesar, of the Julius Caesar. And in fact, the statue of Julius Caesar is over there, on the opposite side. So there, you know, if you're here daily, working or, you know, just observing people, you would see hundreds of people taking pictures with this guy right there, and not with that guy over there. Because they see the name Caesar, which is not even the name, alright, anymore. It became a title. So it means basically the king, and they take pictures with the wrong guy. So, where were we? Yeah, we are in front of the main Roman Forum right now, alright, the oldest one. And you can see right there, we have Roman Forum, and of course we have the Palatine Hill right there. And I'm glad to see some people up on the hill. Of course, on any, you know, any good day in a regular good year, let's say, without pandemics, the hill would be full of people. This platform right there would be full of people and seagulls, because seagulls love to go there to steal sandwiches and chips and things like that. But I'm glad to see at least some kind of action, some kind of movement there. And let me cross the street. Let me see if it's safe to cross. Yes, it is. While in Rome, when in Rome, let's do what the Romans do. Let's jaywalk. Alright. Okay, so Roman Forum, the main forum is beautiful. It's full of history. Of course, this guy is the ancient nerve center of the Roman world. There's a ticket booth right there. I don't see anyone. You can enter here and start with the forum, and they will give you ticket for the same ticket is valid for the Colosseum. It's always better to book online or to book tours if you just want to take it easy and, you know, take pictures and concentrate.
Have a good day.
You too, man. I'm working now, man. If you want just, you know, to enjoy yourselves and just walk and take pictures and don't have to read the signs. And yeah, Cavour Street right there. This is the beginning of Monte neighborhood. Monte is beautiful. Monte is the same thing basically as Trastevere, but right inside the center of the city. Coliseum is right there in the back. The back of the Basilica of Maxentius and Constantine. Beautiful, beautiful. This is just gorgeous. You know, guys, for those of you who've been to Roman Forum before, this is basically towering above the whole forum. There are huge vaults that you can see. It's a beautiful structure. Even today it's impressive, even though it's in ruins. And of course, Basilica of Cosimo and Damiano right there. You can see a little bit of forum from this church if you go inside. We have to cross the street again. They're still working on the metro station, new metro station here, so you see construction is not over yet. We have the pipe man playing his pipes. Orange Boy he's called, the Orange Boy. Here we have the Roma Pass thing. We can buy some snacks, you can use restrooms. Restrooms you have to pay to use. You can buy tickets. Lots of people selling stuff to you, okay? Now you should know that most of the people selling tickets here on the street are legal, okay? And the tickets are real, so you will not, you know, get ripped off or lose your money. You will get a real ticket on a real tour to real Colosseum. The only thing I cannot guarantee is the quality of the tour, because they try to pack their groups as much as they can. So sometimes you can't even see the guide. Well, Now with COVID, with new rules, the groups are much smaller and there's less people. But before COVID, I mean, it wasn't rare to see 50 people in a group or even more. So it's really hard to keep up with your guide on a group of this size. The Colosseum is getting closer and closer. All this here is the metro works, alright, building new subway or metro station. So hopefully it's coming soon. And it's getting really hot. Now, of course, for those of you who've been to Rome before, you know this path. You know it very, very well, because that's how you get back to your hotel, or from your hotel located in the center around Piazza Venezia to the Colosseum. It's always hot and it's always really, really crowded. I have to take a sip of water. It's getting too hot. Colosseum in the full view. Beautiful. Alright. Now the real name of Colosseum, of course, the official name of Colosseum is Flavian Amphitheater, because it is an amphitheater. It means two theaters back to back, from the Greek word amphi, teatro, double theater, built by Flavian dynasty, alright, built by slaves. Beautiful place. Let me cross the street again, get to the other side. Alright. The labyrinth is still here. There's a real labyrinth to get to the Colosseum right now, but hopefully once the metro station is done, they're going to remove all the stuff and the access is going to be open. And we see what we usually see in August. Lots of people lining up to the Colosseum. Alright. Let's see. We have the groups, guides waiting for their groups. We have people just chilling, relaxing in the shade. And of course, we have this. You see, it looks crowded, okay, but in reality it's not. And everybody's got a ticket for a certain time slot, so, and it's pointless to come here earlier because there is no line and everything works pretty well. So I didn't want to show you necessarily the Colosseum itself. Well, of course I did already. So I wanted to show you the situation with the tickets and with the lines. Okay, as I told you before, although it looks crowded, it's not, because the line ends right here and it's noon. So you guys know that on August day, any August day, noon, line usually bends around the walls of Colosseum. Okay, and right now that's all we have. So that's great. And again, book online. Please book online. Alright, now let me show you the Arch of Constantine, and I'll head over to the other side. The Arch of Constantine, built to celebrate the victory of Constantine over his rival Maxentius. Of course, Constantine is called very often first Christian emperor, and most likely he authorized, Christianity, declared Christianity one of the legal religions of Rome. I personally think, after studying, polytheistic Roman society worshipping, numerous gods, many gods, is that Christianity and Christ and Christian God were observed absorbed into Roman culture, you know. They worshipped so many gods, so many divinities, they didn't care, you know, one more, one less. And eventually, of course, we all know what happens. It takes over, Christianity takes over and becomes the main religion. So, the Arch of Constantine, and then the beginning of Via Sacra that runs from here all the way to the Roman Forum and through Roman Forum. And this street that we have here behind the Arch of Constantine is called Viatrium Valleys, or the Street of Triumphs. You know, it was used to celebrate different events and triumphs, victories, and victorious generals would march their troops up the street all the way, of course, to the Roman Forum. Here, this is one of the best places to see Colosseum, because you see that two rings had collapsed, okay? And you can see clearly where they end, and of course on the other side, if you go all the way to the other side, you will see the other end of these two rings. You can see also many names of popes on the walls of Colosseum, popes who eventually understood the importance of this building, and instead of dismantling the structure to build their palaces, and palaces for their sometimes families, kids, and even wives, they started preserving this building. So, luckily for us. And today we have Colosseum. Beautiful amphitheater. Now, here we're gonna have some groups. You see, we don't do this kind of thing. We don't do flags, we don't do huge groups, because it's uncomfortable for us, and it's uncomfortable for you guys. It's, you know, sometimes it's really hard to keep track of your guide or to catch up with your guide, because they take off, and you have to spend the whole day chasing your guide up and down the stairs of Colosseum or the Vatican museums. All right. Okay, nice and cool. You see, it's so crowded because the passage is very narrow, you see. If not for this wall right here, everyone would have much more space. Security check inside the Colosseum, okay. Right there you have to go through metal detectors, and you have to put all your bags through scanners, just like at any airport. Don't take off your clothes, alright? We see so many people day after day taking off their shoes, okay? It's not TSA, it's not your, you know, it's not your airport security that will, you know, strip you naked. No. If you have a big belt buckle, just take it off, but don't take off your clothes, please. And another thing is that there is no dress code in Colosseum. There is no dress code here, but there is a dress code, of course, in the Vatican museums, right? Or in any churches for that matter. Now I'm gonna cross the street again, and I'm gonna head up that hill right there, called Coliseum. So let's wait for green light. There are a couple of cars and buses. That's our meeting point for the tour, right there behind the green kiosk. Alright. Alright, let's go up the stairs.
It's okay?
Alright, now take a look at this view. This, of course, this place is familiar to you for sure. You see, we are on the second floor basically of the metro station up on the hill called Coliseum. That's the place where the couples usually stop to take pictures, and it's just inevitable that one of the guys from Senegal will sell you a bracelet or two. Look at this now again. This is the best side of Colosseum because it's in the perfect shape. You see that there is some damage that's been repaired. You can see plenty of iron braces on the walls holding the structure together. The capacity has been reduced. So in the old times, let's say 50 to 70,000 people watching shows, alright? We're talking when it was built. Now, when it became a tourist attraction, 1950s, 1960s, right, our time, let's say 6,000 to 7,000 people. And they have reduced it a few years ago to 3,000 people because the building is not safe. I mean, it's not getting any younger. And now, even less, okay? Even less because of COVID, because of social distancing. And I'm glad that they have the pictures, images of statues in the niches, because every niche had a statue, or a statue of God, or divinity, or famous fighter, or emperor, or senator. We start with the podium, the ground level. The seats are called podium, then Magnanum primum, secundum, and Magnanum in legnum, or wooden one. You see, there are actually would be two layers behind this wall. Look at the arches. Alright, the ceilings are pretty tall, so this would be the seats for the military, for the businessman, for the nobility. And then finally the top floor, there are two layers that were for the poor. Alright, poor, slaves, and maybe even women. And of course they did not have arches, they had just simple square windows. Alright, you see this marble blocks protruding from the wall. So this block supported wooden masts to hold the retractable ceiling, because Colosseum had a retractable ceiling. Okay, so people actually sat in relative comfort. So Colosseum, okay, from the largest and the most famous amphitheater in the world, all of a sudden was abandoned. Well, let's say that they held the games here in Colosseum non-stop for about 300 years before they decommissioned the place. You know, the interests of people have changed. You know, people didn't want to see bloody gladiatorial fights anymore. They didn't want to see bullfights anymore. And it was just too large to be used as a theater. And collapse of Roman Empire, you know, huge brain drain. So people who were interested in theatrical plays or dramas or concerts were leaving the city, or were busy saving their lives and the lives of their loved ones. So Colosseum is abandoned, and you know, it was neglected for a long time. So earthquakes, fires, storms, and things like that. You know, and then of course people started dismantling Colosseum to use building materials for their own needs. People started moving into Colosseum and living inside, and of course I told you that there was a cemetery inside, because people who were dying inside Colosseum were buried inside Colosseum. Arena was completely flooded, and then it was just filled in with mud and dirt, and the former arena becomes the cemetery. And then people started, religious people started paying attention, and the church started saying that this might have been one of the places where Christians were executed by the emperors, by the pagan emperors. So chapels were built, churches were built inside, and actually one of the popes had a very, very ambitious project to turn Colosseum into a basilica. And it was never, of course, it never happened. And all this time, locals kept on taking whatever they could from Colosseum, brick and metal especially. Okay, that's why there are so many holes in the walls of Colosseum. You see, all these blocks are of travertine. And by the way, it's not true that marble was stripped from the walls of Colosseum, because the walls were made of marble, okay, and they were dismantled, and iron and copper and bronze and lead were removed from the walls of Colosseum, because you see all these blocks of travertine, this is called travertine, these blocks of travertine were locked together using special fasteners made of different metals. And we estimate today that about 300 tons of metal were removed from the walls of Colosseum. And another myth is that Mussolini ordered to demolish Colosseum to build Termini Station. It's not true, of course. You know, Mussolini was one of the people who actually preserved archaeological sites and excavated things, because for him Colosseum was a very, you know, tangible proof that Rome has always been so powerful and so important. So yeah, just a few words of Colosseum, and absolutely marvelous, absolutely gorgeous piece of Roman engineering. The fact that it's still here, you know, alone is just mind-boggling. You can see that there's constant works going on inside, restorations, preservation work, of course, going on. They clean the Colosseum, you know, every now and then, and bring the walls to the original color, because of course it was almost, you know, white. It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. All right, let's leave, because I'm bothering lovebirds. Lovebirds are coming to take pictures here. All right. All right. All right, guys, take care. All right, so we're almost done. Here we have couple of bars. Okay, there's this wine and food La Biga, and then restaurant just next door. So this would be, you know, very convenient places, you know, to grab a drink, to grab a little snack, to use restrooms. If you're a smoker, they sell cigarettes right there. So yep. And another phone call that I had to answer. You see, this is good. This is a good sign. That means people are coming back to Rome. Now, we have Domus Aurea not too far from here. And the beautiful park here. Well, you know, if you ask locals don't like this two park too much, because it's a place where, you know, where some sketchy people, some not nice, let's say, activities going on. But there's Domus Aurea, not too far. A beautiful place with shade, and you know, it's cool, where you can relax before or after your tour. A very nice place. I like it. What else? So yeah, I think we're almost done. I think I've walked a lot today. I've walked a ton today, and now that we're standing in the shade here beneath this beautiful sycamore trees, I want to show you one last image of Colosseum before I say goodbye. Next week, wait for another video, okay? Of course, as soon as I publish it, I will let you know on the group. So just wait for the announcement, or just subscribe to our channel, to our YouTube channel, like it, share it, to let people see this, you know, a bit unconventional tours, unscripted, uncut, unedited. Alright, guys, take care, and we'll see you soon.